Real estate housing market crash update. This is huge. Hey gang, this is Mike with myrealestatedojo.com. I am Mr. No Fluff. And if you could hit the like button, leave me a comment because it does help out the algorithm and it's totally for free. Right now, I'm going to tell you exactly my opinion as when the real estate market housing bubble is going to crash. But first of all, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm actually a refugee that came to America, and I was lucky enough to turn $100 into 3 successful businesses, make millions of dollars, but not be happy with accumulation, not be happy with, what was defined by society, by success. And I ended up donating most of my stuff to the homeless people and going homeless myself to learn the meaning of life like Jesus did and Buddha did. Now, going back to the story of the real estate housing market crash, I have huge news, okay? As you guys know, I'm not a fan of the Federal Reserve. I'm not a fan of central bankers. I'm not a fan of fiat money. It doesn't matter if it's dollars, if it's the Korean, whatever the story is. And I'm not a fan of debt. But what's happening right now in our society is that millions of people have lost their jobs. There's millions of people that are behind in their home payments, millions and millions of people. But what's happening is instead of like 2006, where the banks start foreclosing on these properties one by one and auctioning off the homes by one by one, what's happening right now is shows that the Fed has created a sister company, okay? I don't even want to say their name, you can Google it. But simply put, they've created a sister company and they're giving away like basically free money to this corporation at less than 0.1% interest rate, right? Billions in dollars, millions of dollars. And this private corporation that's owned by the Fed, that's been funded by the Fed, is going out and buying real estate, guys. They're buying real estate. And again, the Federal Reserve is not the part of the government. It's not that people that we voted for. It's not. They're privately held company or corporation or bankers all around the world, okay? So what we call the elite. So they basically are printing out the money, the Federal Reserve, and then they're giving it out to their member banks or their sister companies that they have created. And their sister companies are buying neighborhoods. They're buying neighborhoods of real estate. They're not buying one, they're not buying two, they're buying the whole block. Okay, and these brand new homes, guys. Okay, just straight up on builders. So what that signifies to me is a couple of things, and this is very important. Number one, what Dalio said, that cash is trash. Cash is trash, and it simplifies that the Fed is printing out this money. They're giving to their closest friends and allies, and or creating corporations, and then these corporations are going out, which is Wall Street, going out and buying massive real estate. So they're taking trash cash because they're printing it so much, and they're buying hard assets that everyone needs, and then they're going to know that it's going to be a hedge against inflation. Okay, so they know that. What's happening, and they want to take this trash cash and buy real estate. And what they're doing is buying the whole neighborhood. They're overbidding 10, 20, 30% above asking price. Why can they do that? Because it's not A, it's not their money. B, the money was created out of the printing press. Where, for example, if I wanted to buy a real estate, I have to, use my life energy to come up with a new strategy, come up with a new skill, come up with the cash to be able to buy the property. Where these corporations that are, controlled by the Fed are able to basically pick up deals by free money. And they can buy the whole block, guys. They can buy the whole block by free money. So this is why it's so hard for the average first-time home buyer or for the real estate investor to get into the game, because we're competing with, Wall Street. We're competing with the Federal Reserve that are control the printers of money, and they're funding their closest friends and corporations to buy real estate. So we're competing with that, okay? The other thing that it shows to me is that how big the real estate crash is. Because, you know, last time, the 2006, 2007 was pretty big, but this time is even bigger. There's more people that are behind in their payments. And so it just shows to me that underneath the table, underneath the rug, the Fed is creating a corporation to buy all these non-performing notes from the bank, right? All these homes that are people behind on from the bank without even hitting the foreclosure auction, without even hitting the MLS. And what that's going to do is that's going to help increase the prices of real estate because the Fed and America's big brother, they don't want the world to know what kind of problem we're having in America because we're the world reserve currency, right? And so if you don't understand that, if you don't understand petrodollar, then there's a lot of things you have to do research on, okay? On my YouTube channel or on my blog, My Real Estate Dojo, go check it out. I got tons of free videos for you. So what's happening right now, again, is that millions and millions of people are behind in their home payments, and the Fed looks like they've created a corporation. They're funding them with almost free money for them to buy neighborhoods and neighborhoods and blocks and blocks. And I think behind the scene, they're going to sell them blankets of notes, blankets of mortgages, right, to one corporation instead of it hitting uh, the auction, instead of hitting the real estate agents. They're just going to avoid all that because it's costly to pay for all that holding fee, royal fee, realtor fee, etc. And at the same time, it hurts the banks because when you have a floodgates of inventory come in, you're only hurting yourself because every time they sell a property at the auction and they list it on the MLS and they price it lower than you know, Bob that lives in that house down the street, they're hurting the price of the homes. And if you have a whole lot of something, you don't want to sell and hurt the prices of your home. It's kind of like cryptos, right? If you have a lot of Bitcoin, you're a whale. You don't want to sell it all at one time because it drops the price. So what you want to do is, figure an ingenious way like the Fed has done, fund a sister company for them to buy these blocks of, I'm speculating in the future, the foreclosure, so it doesn't hurt America. It doesn't hurt our financial system because, everyone knows we're printing so much money. Everyone knows that we don't produce, diddly squat here. Everything's produced in Germany and Mexico and Taiwan and China, etc. Okay. Guys, another thing that it shows to me, at least, is that how the wealth is being siphoned off from the American people. I don't know if you guys remember in history a while back, Big Brother stole the American gold from the working class American, and they made American, instead of having savings and being ahead, what I call positive, they turn them into negatives, which is like debtors. Instead of having gold and having a savings, now people have revolving credits and credit cards. So, Big Brother robbed American people, the working class, of their wealth. And it seems like they're doing the same exact thing because now they are robbing the first-time home buyers. They're robbing the average American and causing inflation in assets like real estate for them to go up 10, 20, 15, 30% in a year, all the way to making it so expensive for the average investor or an average person that can't get into it. And at the same time, buying everything up because, paying over the asking price because you're getting free money. Uh, what I mean free money is when the Fed prints out and gives money out to its member banks for almost 0% interest rate. Well, how can that be a free market when some corporation can have unlimited funds and buy everything up and they could pay over? How can there be competition for the average investor? How can there be a normal competition? It's not normal, dude. They're getting unlimited free printing money where the average American or the average business owner, they have to work for it. And that's why we are seeing, where the mom and dad has to work. Back in the days in history, only dad had to work. Mom didn't have to work. Mom could be a stay-at-home mom. Today, mom has to work, dad has to work, and we got to put it on the credit card. So we are tilting to taking power away from the people and put it in the hands of a very selective few, majority in the Federal Reserve, guys. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, share this message, leave me your comments below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Peace. Don't take no for an